again, Big U, his son, Baby Huey, or Big Huey, right? He was assassinated last night on Halloween out there in LA.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie. They killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details, Nip and Big U got into it. Big U hit Nip daddy across the head with a bat. His brother had to come out and shoot the gun. Hey, y'all get out. Say, Nip, come on, we finna come beat you. Because I don't want to pay that $20,000.
All this is nonsense. Me and Big U even had a conversation about it. And I said, man, I'm sorry you're getting dragged into this fake storyline. Not that I have anything to do with it, because I've never interviewed Loose Cannon or anything else like that. But I just as someone I'm cool with, I said, I'm sorry that this is the story that's going out and people are running with it, because I remember every conversation I've ever had with Big U, he's always spoken positively about Nipsey. Every time. Our interview, nothing negative about Nipsey. Personal conversations, nothing negative about Nipsey, ever.
Again, Big U and his son. He was assassinated last night on Halloween out there in LA. Streets didn't just react, they erupted. Shock, confusion, and then that ugly turn social media always takes. But before we dive into the digital madness, we gotta rewind. Because what happened on the ground that night, that set the whole thing in motion. And trust me, it's uglier than it looks. Halloween, October 31st, 2025. LA wasn't dressed up in fun that night. It was drenched in blood. South Central, that part of town where trauma feels normal, where every corner holds a story that could break your heart or cost your life. The night should have been quiet. Kids knocking on doors, parents walking close. Just another fall evening. But by 11:11 p.m., that quiet was gone. LAPD's 77th Street Division gets a call. Shots fired. Corner of South Figueroa and West 69th Street. Officers rush in, and what they roll up on is chaos. There's a smoke shop there, Figure 69 Smoke Spot, the kind of joint where people duck in to grab swishers, maybe a soda, maybe just to chill out for a second. Not gang affiliated, not on paper, but it's posted right in the heart of Rolling 60s territory, and that's all that matters. Outside the shop, witnesses describe a dark sedan. Could have been a Toyota, maybe a Honda. Blacked out windows, slow pull-up. Jabari Henley, Big U's son, walks up to the car. Calm, 6'1", 210 pounds. Built like a linebacker, but moved like he had nothing to prove. Leans in, talking to whoever's in the passenger seat. It looks like a casual exchange. Then all hell breaks loose. Gunfire erupts, loud, sharp, relentless. 7 shots, quick succession. Witnesses hit the ground. Someone screams. A food truck vendor ducks behind his cart. Jabari stumbles back, clutching his side. 1 shot in the chest, 1 in the gut, arm, thigh. He hits the pavement. The car peels off. Northbound on Figueroa, hooks a right on 68, gone like a ghost. Paramedics hit the scene fast. Station 46, clocking in at 11:14 p.m., but Jabari's bleeding out, agonal breathing, that final gasp your body makes when your soul's trying to hang on. They hit him with compressions, Epidon in the veins, working the scene like pros. But by 11:28 p.m., it's over. The coroner logs it as case number 2025-04512, cause of death. Multiple gunshot wounds. Official killer, hemorrhagic shock. A ripped artery in the chest. Clean toxicology. No liquor, no pills, no street meds. Jabari wasn't high, he wasn't sloppy, he was just caught. And that's when the internet woke up. You see, this wasn't just any young black man gunned down in LA. This was Big U's son, and that meant the whole history, everything tied to Nipsey Hussle, Rolling 60s, 2019, all of it came flooding back. People weren't just reacting to a murder, they were reacting to a ghost. Social media exploded. The first scanner call dropped at 11:45 p.m. and by 12:10, Twitter was trending with Big U son, Baby Huey, Nipsey Karma, hashtags everywhere, X-posts talking about revenge from the grave, TikTokers uploading CPR footage, yes, actual video of paramedics working on Jabari, 3 million views before the sun came up. But it wasn't just random people. That's where things got spooky. Anonymous burner accounts pushing clips that painted this as divine payback. Old interviews of Nipsey being recut. And deep in the reposts, accounts traced back to a firm that worked with Blake Lively's PR team. Yeah, you heard right. Hollywood had its hands in this one, and Blake was right in the center. Not directly, never directly, but whispers, connections, quiet nods from power players letting the hate flow through. That was the move. Justin Baldoni, he wasn't having it. By 2:30 a.m., it was no longer just internet gossip, it was targeted. Jabari's name was being dragged across comment threads like he was the one on trial. Posts weren't just mentioning Big U, they were laughing about a man losing his son. Comments like "Karma came for his bloodline" or "Nipsey got his lick back." Let that sink in. A father buried in a federal cell, his son gunned down in the streets, and strangers cheering it on like a pay-per-view fight. It was the ugliest side of the internet, but what made it even worse? The receipts. One of the biggest viral posts, a clip remixing Nipsey Hussle's dedication over footage of Jabari on a stretcher, came from an account registered just 30 days prior. No profile pic, no history, but over 2 million views in less than 8 hours. So who ran it? According to cyber analysts watching LA-based Digital Beef, that account shared metadata with others that posted similar content after King Von, PNB Rock, and even Pop Smoke passed. These weren't fans. These were clout chasers, digital hyenas preying on trauma. The worst part? The algorithms fed it. TikTok boosted it to the For You page, Instagram Reels recycled it through Nipsey fan pages, Twitter or X now pinned threads suggesting Big U orchestrated all this. Again, no evidence, just vibes, just pain, just blame. And the more people watched, the worse it got. The CPR footage, reposted by meme pages, some even used drill music over it. Others captioned it like it was a punchline. This wasn't mourning, it was mockery. By sunrise on November 1st, the energy online had shifted. It wasn't just about Jabari anymore. It was about Nipsey, old wounds, deep rumors, and one name kept getting dragged into the dirt, Big U. The conspiracy theories resurfaced like they never left. You remember the ones: Big U allegedly vouched for Eric Holder. Big U allegedly profited off Nip's death. Big U allegedly signed shady deals that trapped Nipsey in bad contracts. All of it was back, recycled, repackaged, and dripping with venom. But here's the wild part, none of it ever stuck in court. Big U's name never came up in Holder's trial. No call logs, no witness statements, nothing in the transcripts, zero. Still, that didn't stop the timeline. At 6:47 a.m., a post with 2,400 likes said, "Y'all let Big U walk after killing your legend. This city trash." By 10 a.m., TikTok had 200 plus videos with the hashtag Nipsey Karma, some even using AI voiceovers pretending to be Nip speaking from the grave. What made it worse? Fan pages that claimed to love Nipsey were the ones reposting these theories, some out of pain, others out of pure clout. Charleston White's old 2021 clip got dragged back up, the one where he claimed Big U and Nipsey had fought, where he alleged wild things about bats, fights, deals gone wrong. That video did 11,000 likes in 3 hours. Loose Cannon's old podcast, Remember, Big U's co-defendant, also started trending. He once said Big U let snakes circle Nip, that he sat back and watched the trap close. The irony? This the same dude who had to whisper the news about Jabari's murder to Big U through a jail bunk whisper. This wasn't healing. This was vengeance dressed as justice. People wanted someone to blame, someone to hurt, and Big U was the easiest target, even if the facts said otherwise. By the afternoon of November 1st, it wasn't just online. The streets started feeling it too. South Central was tense, the kind of tension you can't see but you can feel. Neighborhoods that had been quiet since Nipsey's unity marches in 2019, now they were buzzing, not with peace, with payback. Whispers of retaliation moves, cars circling blocks twice, graffiti going up with cryptic messages like "Karma got one more stop." The 77th Division put patrols on high alert. LAPD logged 13 separate disturbance calls within 24 hours of Jabari's murder, all within a 2-mile radius of the smoke shop. Meanwhile, Crime Stoppers started getting anonymous tips, over 150 in just 2 days, a 22% spike, most of them vague, some naming rival sets, others dropping half-baked theories about old hits being answered. Then came the first arrest. 2 men from Inglewood, spotted in a car matching the shooter's vehicle, got picked up near 104th and Van Ness, but just as fast as they were booked, they were released. Alibis held up, no residue, no motive, just wrong place, wrong time. LAPD wasn't any closer. But inside their briefings, they started using a new phrase: spillover retaliation. That's code for what happens when old beefs find new bodies, when streets go hunting, not for justice, but for balance. One internal memo leaked online mentioned a Hoover set possibly tied to a Reputation hit, a move meant to shake up the rolling 60s legacy by targeting the next generation. Not a hit on Big U, but a hit that would echo through his name. The sad part, Jabari wasn't even outside like that. He worked a warehouse job in Compton, raised a daughter, kept his head down. His music, low-key, his presence, respectful. And yet here we are. Jabari became a symbol, not for what he did, but for who his father was. By November 2nd, LAPD had combed through 12 different surveillance tapes, storefront cameras, street cams, even footage from a parked Tesla down the block. From all angles, one thing was clear: Jabari never pulled a weapon, never reached, never moved foul. He walked up, talked through the window, and got ambushed. The shooter, gloved, masked, hood pulled tight, 1 second of eye contact, max. But they found something, a partial print on the sedan's passenger door. Forensics rushed it through their database. Match came back partial, belonging to someone affiliated with a Hoover crew known for moving outside South LA. Not a confirmed hitter, but someone connected to other retaliatory events going back to 2022. Still, no arrest, just whispers, just shadows. Meanwhile, LAPD put out a $50,000 reward, public plea, press release. But the community, they weren't buying it. Because this wasn't just about justice, this was about a cycle, a loop that never ends. One where cops show up late, solve even later, and the streets bury another name under a mural in a candlelight vigil. The family planned a private memorial, no public funeral, just peace. But even that got hijacked. Photos of the service leaked, comments rolled in. More blame, more hate, more fake Nipsey quotes in the captions. Even in death, Jabari couldn't rest. While the world outside twisted the narrative, Big U was stuck inside a federal cage, Metropolitan Detention Center, downtown LA. Concrete walls, no sunlight, just stale air, metal bunks and whispers that echo through the vents. He found out about Jabari's murder the worst way possible. Through a whisper, not from staff, not from his lawyer, but from Loose Cannon, his co-defendant. Cannon got word through a contraband phone, slid the news in low during lights out, barely audible beneath the buzz of the unit. Big U didn't speak, not right away. He sat there, fists clenched, breathing heavy, eyes fixed, not blinking. Then one tear, then another, then the silence that screams louder than anything in that building. Not my boy, not like this. That's what Cannon told media Big U said. In the unit, it stayed quiet for the rest of the night. Even in jail, they knew not to mess with that kind of pain. Big U ain't no saint. He'll be the first to tell you that he did his dirt, got out, tried to do better, started programs, brokered peace talks, gave the hood a second chance. But to some folks, none of that mattered. To them, he'll always be a villain. And now that he's facing 43 counts under RICO, they're using that to erase everything he built. But the real ones, the ones who saw him march after Nip passed, who watched him give back to the youth, they know, they saw the work, the pain, the commitment. Still, it ain't stopping the vultures. As soon as the news hit, blogs started running with headlines like Big U's sins catch up and Nipsey's revenge. All clickbait, no facts, no nuance, just exploitation. And for Big U, stuck behind bars with no way to hug his son goodbye, that's the part that breaks him. The guards didn't give him a second call. No visitation granted. Just the cold echo of grief bouncing off steel. He didn't eat the next day. Didn't come out for rec. Didn't speak for 48 hours straight. And the rest of the inmates, they left him alone. Because even behind bars, pain like that, it commands silence. Jabari's death didn't just take a life. It cracked a man already fighting to keep the pieces together. By November 3rd, the noise hadn't stopped. If anything, it got louder. Hip-hop pages kept milking the headlines. Twitter threads hit 100,000 reposts. TikTok was looping conspiracy edits like it was part of a docu-series. But on the ground, a different kind of movement started. At Leimert Park, someone set up candles. Just a few at first, then a photo, then more candles, posters, cards. A mural went up 2 days later, spray paint on brick. Jabari's face, eyes closed, halo above, below it, peace ain't weak. It wasn't official, no press, no promotion, but it was real. Dozens of folks came through, no big names, just locals. People who knew Jabari from the warehouse, people who remembered him from music sessions, people who didn't say much but just stood there, head down, hoodie up, because for them it wasn't about gossip, it was about loss. But while one side mourned, another side doubled down. Graffiti started popping up downtown. Karma paid in full. Flyers showed up on car windshields in mid-city with QR codes linking to videos accusing Big U of orchestrating Nipsey's downfall. Somebody even started selling t-shirts that said, "The Marathon Avenged." That's the sickness of the clout game. Grief becomes merch, conspiracy becomes content, and real people, they get buried twice. What makes it worse is that it ain't just random trolls. Some of these videos were professionally cut, narrated, subtitled, timed to trending songs. It was strategy, not emotion. Meanwhile, LA's youth, they're split. Some think Jabari's death was a setup. Others say it's just the cost of legacy. Some want to retaliate, some want to organize, some don't know what to believe. And that's the real danger. Not just the lies, but the confusion, the loss of clarity, the loss of truth. Because in this culture war, everyone's choosing sides, but nobody's choosing healing. Neighborhoods that used to sit together after funerals, now they got tension. OGs trying to talk sense are being ignored, and young ones, they're sliding into hashtags instead of community centers. All while Jabari's daughter, 10 years old, has to wake up and live with this, not just the absence, but the noise, the comments, the memes. She didn't lose a father, she lost peace. And LA's still trying to figure out what comes next. Because if the city doesn't slow down and look in the mirror, it won't just bury Jabari, it'll bury itself. November 4th came and went. No suspects, no arrests, no clarity, but LA kept moving. It always does. The mural stayed up. No tags, no defacements, that's respect. In a city where walls get crossed quick, that silence means something. The Henley family, they stopped talking to press. No more statements, no more comments, just prayer circles, quiet dinners, a lockdown house with curtains closed and candles always burning. And Big U, he's still behind bars, still waiting for trial, still frozen in that same nightmare, a father with no closure, a man being judged in public, long before the court says a word. But here's what matters. Here's what they can't spin. Jabari Henley wasn't in the streets. He wasn't out there banging. He wasn't chasing clout. He worked. He provided. He stayed out the way. And that's the tragedy, because sometimes the streets don't care who you are, only who they think you came from. Jabari paid for a rumor. He paid for a past that wasn't his. And now LA has to carry that stain. Not just for what happened, but for what they let happen after. The jokes, the edits, the conspiracies, the digital mobs that fed on grief like it was candy. But time always tells, truth don't need a trending tag, and real ones, they remember. Not just the noise, but the silence that followed. Because at the end of the day, when the clicks stop, when the algorithm moves on and the timelines go quiet, only one thing will still echo in South Central. They took the son of a man who already lost everything. And no amount of views can justify that. Rest in power, Jabari, baby Huey Henley. The streets ain't forget, and they never will.